Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. El día de hoy we are going to do a foundation review. So I have here the Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation. Now, I had this maybe like a month or two ago. I featured it in un video that I did. I think it was like trying new makeup. Had the wrong shade, so I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Then I got reached out by Glossier, thank you so much, muchas gracias, and they asked if they could send this to me. So I was like, claro que sí. So I think now I have the right shade. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do a full in-depth review and wear test con este producto. So let's go ahead and get right into it porque estoy muy excited. So we have the foundation. I did like my eye makeup so that we could just do the foundation on camera. And this is what it looks like. So that's super cute. This one is medium 3. I had purchased medium 5 and medium 5 was a little too deep for me. Entonces I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And now I have the right shade. And I feel like sometimes if you have the wrong shade, it just throws everything off. So you just don't even really know if it's gonna be a good foundation or not. So I'm really excited that now I do have the right shade and we can get into this. So medium 3 is a golden undertone. This does retail for $34. You can purchase this on Sephora's app, Sephora's website, and Sephora stores. And we're gonna read a little bit about this. So this is a hydrating gel cream foundation that nourishes skin for buildable, light to medium coverage with natural to you finish. This does contain squalane and glycerin to hydrate and nourish skin's moisture barrier. It also does contain wild roseberry and plankton extract, which visibly balances shine and maintains hydration. It contains amino acid coated pigments to fuse with skin for flexible coverage and a natural to you finish. This foundation truly puts your skin first with an 89% skincare base. Eso me gusta. And it has plant-derived squalane and glycerin to hydrate and nurture skin's moisture barrier. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into this. And let's see cómo nos va. And I'm gonna take the foundation. Pueden ver, it's like a nice like gel-like consistency. Así. And I'm just gonna take it y lo voy a poner de este lado on this side. Yeah, I think this color is gonna be better. Espero que sí, because the last time it was just too dark. It was like too orange for my complexion. So I'm gonna do one side with a sponge and then the other side with a brush. So I'm gonna take this. It does have a little bit of a scent. I think it's from the berries in there, but it's a nice buildable consistency, very skin-like. You can still see a little bit of my redness. It also feels very lightweight. I actually just started reading a book that is about the founder of Glossier, and I'm really excited to really get into it. I just got it recently, and before I purchased it, I always like to kind of like read un poquito so that I know if I'm going to actually read it, because books are not cheap. So I was reading it for a little bit and I was like, oh, sí, eso me gusta. I love like books that are like empowering or like self-help books or just kind of like books that are about somebody's life and you can learn about it, especially when they're in your industry and like it's part of the beauty industry, obviously. So I'm very excited to read that book. A little tangent, pero because we're talking about the Glossier foundation, I'm like, I have to talk about that book. Okay, so así se ve. And like I said, we only went in with one pump of it. Y nos dio esto, which I really like because I feel like this side, you guys can see like the product and it looks really nice. It looks skin-like. It doesn't look super heavy or cakey, but obviously it does a good job of covering the redness because miren la diferencia, like you can see it there. So I really like it. I feel like it's really nice so far. I also like the fact that it's not giving me too much radiance. Like yes, it's hydrating. It's not separating on my skin. Let me actually come un poquito más cerca because I'm literally like so far. Okay, así se ve mejor. So you guys can see, like, it gives you like a natural radiance from within. It looks like skin, pero mejor. And it doesn't take away from everything else. I will say, because this is a more natural skin-like foundation, I probably next time would wear this with a pore filling primer just to kind of like fill in any of those areas that need some pore filling. But besides that, I think it looks really beautiful, like really pretty for every day. I also really appreciate that I feel like the sponge didn't absorb too much of the product. I feel like sometimes when you go with a more lightweight foundation, it can definitely be absorbed by a damn sponge, pero esto no, like it really looks good. Okay, now we're gonna go de este lado. And we're gonna take the foundation. Something else I want to point out is I feel like the older I get, the more I prefer like a finish like this, just very natural skin like, rather than something like super full coverage, because I'm like, if I still need to add a little bit more coverage, I can always just go in with like a concealer or something like that that's a little bit more lightweight. So I really appreciate a good everyday natural skin like finish. Yeah, this looks really nice. I do think that with a brush you get a little bit more coverage than with a sponge. ¿Verdad? Like, do you see that? Like, I feel like here more of the redness is covered than este lado. For more full coverage days, I probably would go in with a brush, especially like if you're gonna be using this for like an evening out or something where you want a little bit more coverage. But for every day, this side with just a sponge looks just as good, but you can clearly see that this does have more coverage than this, and we went in with the same amount of product. It also did pretty decent on the nose. I have issues where like my nose, the texture, it will separate, pero I feel like no se ve tan mal. It doesn't look as bad. So yeah, that's kind of what we have. Let me see. It's actually not that sticky, which I also like. I appreciate when something isn't too sticky. I feel like it dries down nicely. It does give a little bit of radiance, pero no mucho, which I, as somebody who does have oily skin, I do appreciate. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and show you guys how this has set with the rest of the products, and then we can begin the wear test, because the wear test is what really tells us if this is worth your money or no. And we will see cómo nos va. So I'll be right back. Okay, bonitas, I am back. Ya regresé. So right now it is 9:19 a.m. en la mañana, and I have my full face of makeup on. I will include all the products that I used in esta carita down below in the description box in case you want to check out the products that I used on my face. But let's talk about the Glossier foundation. So this is what it looks like. I have not set it with any powder. This is just the finish that I have once I had applied all my products. I have to say, I really liked how it worked with my bronzer, my blush, and also the under eye powder, because you guys know I always have to set the under eyes. I always use the loose powder. But I like the fact that I haven't gone in to set the full face with pressed powder, and it looks really nice. Like, it just looks like skin. It doesn't look like really dewy or like oily. Like, it just looks like really good skin. I'm very excited to see how it's gonna do for the whole day, because that's what's really gonna tell us if this is worth our $34 or no. Y también we're gonna do our in natural lighting clip, which I always like to do, so you guys can see how this looks out with the natural light. It is sunny el día de hoy. It's actually starting to get cold here in Maryland, so I'm like, ooh. So I'm going to see you guys later, and we can figure out how this is gonna work for us. So definitely keep watching. And we shall see cómo nos va. Okay, bonitas, I am back with natural lighting, luz natural. Nos vemos así. Honestly, me gusta. It has like a little bit of radiance, but it's like a natural radiance. I feel like it looks very fresh-faced, very youthful, and it doesn't look cakey or like too full. Like, it just looks good. Look at that. Okay, so we're gonna do the wear test. Y nos vemos en la tarde for my final thoughts, so we can see what we think. Las veo al rato. Okay, bonitas, so I am back. It is now 9:44 p.m. como pueden ver, and this is what the face looks like. So let's talk about the Glossier foundation. So I have to say, overall, it's really pretty. The only thing though is on the nose, it definitely came off. You guys can see right here. A good amount of it came off. My nose is like my most like problematic area as of lately, because I do have texture on there. Stuff just comes off easier on there. But everywhere else, I feel like it did pretty good. I feel like it still looks very like skin-like, natural, very wearable. It doesn't look as oily as I thought I would, and it's pretty late right now. I really do appreciate like that natural skin-like finish though. If you use like a grip primer or like a primer that you like to use for long wearing, I think it can wear better. I just didn't use a primer. But now that I see how it does without primer, I can see which primers I need to use. And I definitely would say for me, it would be a gripping primer to really grip everything in place, a long wearing primer, and probably a setting spray. But I think everything else overall, it looks really nice. I would say this is definitely an everyday foundation. If you're somebody of like the less is more type of vibe, I think you'll like this. So if you're looking for more like full coverage and want more glam, this is probably not the one for you. But if you want more natural, esto te va a gustar muchísimo. I hope that this video was super helpful for you guys. And if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing more reviews for you guys. And I think eso es todo. So I will see you bonitas very, very soon. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto. Adiós, bonitas.